Hi folks, my name is Roger Klosterman and welcome to my YouTube channel. I've been asked often, where did your music come from? Well, there's two answers to that. The first one is, to some degree, it's a mystery. And I think the element of mystery is a part of every subject, context, and endeavor under the sun. And really, it's a part of everything in the universe. It's the element of mystery is something that is often left out of the conversation. That being said, to put it in a historical timeline, I was born in 1962. I got my first plastic guitar when I was 3 years old. I was a toddler, and needless to say, it didn't last too long. But seriously, I started practicing when I was 8 years old. That was 1970 on my grandpa's 1957 Starburst Stratocaster guitar. My grandpa was a country music performer, and roughly between that time, 1970 when I was 8 to 1974, my grandparents watched me quite a bit. I was over at their house quite a lot. And they were country folks, and whenever I was in their car, the country radio stations were on, and when I was upstairs in their house, they were watching country western flavored TV series. For example, Green Acres, Bonanza, Gunsmoke, Hee Haw, the Beverly Hillbillies. And I said upstairs because my grandpa down in his basement, he turned the room into a recording studio where he kept all his musical instruments. So whenever I was over there, I'd make a beeline to the basement to practice. And we was also this little side thing. Grandpa would like to take Grandma, myself, and my sister along to the Smoky Bars when he had some gigs. Hold on a second. I do want to say that it was in the summertime and there were dinner gigs like around 5 o'clock. So no, my grandparents didn't bring me along to the Smoky Bars during the party hours. Regardless, today that wouldn't happen. Different time, different place, different era back then. Child Protective Services that went down today would come and take the kids away. I survived. It's okay. My mom liked what's called bubble rock, like the Association, the Carpenters. Sometimes it's called soft rock. And she also liked what's called poppy jazz, like Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. And of course the TV was on at home all the time too. And her favorite TV series were, check this out, whole different brand, I Spy, Mission Impossible, Get Smart, and things like that. There's one on The Avengers. Almost forgot that one. She really liked the spy shows. But that's a form of jazz, and I call it spy jazz. By the way, I think those are some really cool tunes. They're very catchy. And really, TV series, think about it, there's some good composers there laying down some very, very catchy tunes. A lot of influence there. My dad liked classical music, operatic tenor. He had one of those big stereo consoles that were common in those days. You know, one that took up half the wall in the living room. When he was at home on the weekends, he was listening to his favorite artist. One of them was Richard Tucker, a very popular tenor in the late 60s, mid to late 60s, and play his favorite albums for hours and hours. So a lot of influence there. And perhaps, I debate it sometimes, but perhaps the most pervasive and enduring influence was the rock atomic explosion that took place. I think it took place in 1965. Before then, rock and roll was pretty much just small shop rock, and it exploded. You may not agree with that. I don't think it's ever going to be repeated again. You may not agree with that, but I think it's the biggest music explosion that ever took place in world human history. You can get with me on that, and I think you'll probably lose the debate. Anyway, just to name some of the sounds that came out: Pink Floyd, acid rock, or psychedelic rock, the Stooges, garage, punk, Black Sabbath, heavy metal, hard rock, Deep Purple, classical rock. And when I mean classical rock, I'm not using that in the generic term. I'll give you an example: Jethro Tull. In classic music, you don't have driving drums and a driving bass. So if you took that out and listened to Jethro Tull and just listened to the flute and some of the guitar arrangements, it's classical music. Opera rock, Queen, glam rock, Elton John, Alice Cooper. I might even call that vaudeville influenced rock. Southern rock, Lynyrd Skynyrd. Progressive rock sounds like Traffic are often put into that category. One of my favorite groups. And the sounds just go on and on and on. Folk, it just is expansive. Anyway, all those forms of music are a part of my mental repertoire. And if you listen to my music, you'll probably pick up that it's highly eclectic, and that's why. My musical expression didn't come to fruition until later on in life. About around 2005, when I was about 42, 43 years old, right in there, I started writing the material to my first CD and thesis, which was eventually released in 2009, and my second CD was released in Ekpyrotic was released in 2014. Well, that's pretty much it, folks. Thanks for dropping by. Wellness, wholeness, harmony, vibration. Stay in tune, and the transmission. Over and out.